cookies and nam, cookies and nam. Encore beef, encore fume avec la mif. Bah moi zebra, pas le G, bah moi zebra.
And even an Ozil masterclass isn't enough to save Emery's job, is it? I mean, it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. So, let's start with the positives. Attacking football. It's been a while since we've seen that at the Emirates. We had 10 shots, 4 on target. But I have to say, they were quality shots. They weren't just hit the ball from outside the box. They weren't all bouncing off someone and it falls to us. We had situations where we passed the ball to one of our best strikers in Lacazette or Aubameyang, who were directly in front of the goal with space around them, and they unfortunately weren't able to finish their dinner. Lacazette skied it, Lacazette p-rolled it. His finishing was not there, and it hasn't been there since he's come back from injury, to be honest with you. Nothing to be worried about, but he's just, not in a great patch of form. In terms of his finishing, his hold-up play was actually pretty freaking great, and he got an assist for the goal, so you got to give him credit as well where he had that. Ozil started the game, played full 90 minutes, and all of a sudden we looked like we can fucking attack, and we looked like we can create chances. Every time we went forward, we looked dangerous. Sometimes the final ball wasn't there, sometimes the touch wasn't there, but I tell you what, it wasn't Mesut Ozil messing it up. Now, you can also argue that there were chances where they could have scored from Mesut Ozil falling asleep a little bit, but they didn't score. Ultimately, he was far more valuable than he was a detriment to the team. Now, that could mean two things. You could say, oh, Emery'S re-inspired him. Or, you could say, why the fuck has he not been in the team since the start of the season? There's a couple of ways to look at this. We've been told he's not working hard enough, he's not this, he's not that. On the evidence of today, we've been missing him. Big time. And, even with him being there, still not fucking enough. Now, again, if he'd been there for every other game this season and we scored more goals, we'd win, we could just say, right, the strikers have had an off day, but we've been shocking defensively. But we also look at it like, well, if he had been playing more in the season, would there be more natural of a link-up between them? It looked like the link-up between Aubameyang, Lacazette and Pepe was working really well. Aubameyang, Lacazette and Ozil was working really well. But it also looked like it was a little bit new at times. Like they hadn't, not new, but they hadn't done it in a while, I don't know, man. It's a shocking performance in the sense that we should have won that game. We were clearly the better team to the eye. But then, that's only really going forward. In terms of defensively, they were probably better than us. They made some fantastic last-ditch saves and blocks. And to be fair, we made a lot of great blocks as well, but we shouldn't have to. We're a better side. Like, we shouldn't have to make as many last-ditch blocks. So, it's kind of shaky overall, man. And then the numbers tell a different story now. If you look at the numbers, 25 shots they had on our goal. 8 shots on target. That's more than us. When I watched the game, it felt end-to-end, but it felt like our chances were far higher quality and that we should have finished ours. But, Leno did make a couple of wonder saves, so, mate, it's just all shocking. Obviously, French Guna, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the game. Let's get into the negatives, man. I'm fucking, like, it doesn't look like Emery could do anything. In terms of, he can't defend when we try and go out there and set up to be pragmatic. It looks like he can't do the balanced thing where we do a little bit of both. We score 2 goals and hold off. We did it last season, but this season we've been incapable of it. We can't hold a lead for shit. Doesn't matter if it's 3-1 or 4-2 or 5-4 at Anfield, 2-0 at Emirates against Palace, 2-0 at Vicarage Road against Watford, or 1-0 at home against Wolves. We just can't hold a fucking lead. Falling asleep at the back. He's had months to change this and he hasn't done it. He's not fixed our defence. And when he's put Ozil back in there, yeah, our attacks look decent, but didn't it look decent under Wenger? Like, it wasn't amazing under Wenger, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't shocking either. It was decent. It's like what we saw today. Decent. The only difference you could say is passing out from the back, a bit more counter-attacking style, which maybe allows a bit more space for the front guys to look good, but Mate, it's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. It's still Unai Emery out. It has to be still Unai Emery out. You know, don't like you can say yeah he's played Ozil, yeah it looks attacking, yeah it looks better, but what the fuck has it brought us? Nothing, nothing. Let's get into the player ratings and I'm gonna get out of here, man. That was really frustrating. I did a full watch along, some draining shit. You know, watch the watch along, man. Like I was there for the whole time putting in shifts. And these boys fucking let me down still. And they let down everyone in the stadium. And they let down my man who was watching from Indonesia. And they let you down as well, wherever you're watching from. I don't let you down. I'm here every fucking Arsenal game doing what I fucking do. Yeah? Doing what I'm meant to do. Yeah? If only they could do the same. Saying that, like, comment, subscribe. I won't let you down. But Arsenal, shout out Robbie. Don't let me down. Or is that DT? Wow, bruvs. It's not working, that little wish, is it? Let's start with Leno. 8 or 9? 9? 8. Distribution was shaky at times. I think he put us under unnecessary pressure. He seems to enjoy putting us under unnecessary pressure. I don't fucking get it. But yeah. 2 wonder saves that stopped us from losing the game in the end, so have to give him an 8. Chambers on the right. It's between a 6 and a 7. 6 because we fucking drew at home against Wolves, so 6. 6 based off his performance could have been a 7 in the sense that I actually think he was decent. In like both going forwards and backwards at times. I think he put some decent balls in. He made himself useful, but it's just not technically good enough, and he just holds onto the ball a little bit too much, and just decision making isn't fantastic. I think those are his limits as a right back. He is a centre back or a defensive midfielder, so you don't hold it against him. So yeah, 6. Socrates. 3 for the way he fell asleep and let that goal in, and a couple of mistakes generally, but overall just take him out, put Holding in. 3. Not good enough. Shouldn't be first team. David Luiz. 4 because that goal was horrendous. Just organising the defence. You're an experienced centre back. You should be organising, man. You should be making sure man ain't falling asleep. Otherwise, why are you here? Why are you here? You have to be another, like, you know, slightly above average defender. Like, nah. We need to be on point, and you weren't. So 4. Tierney. 7. I think he got caught out a bit at the beginning, but overall very solid. Just shepherded Traore really well. The goal that they scored, I can't quite remember what his positioning was there, but I do think that he was marking a man for the throw in and it just went over his head, so I don't think there's much he could have done, even though it came in from the left. It's not like he could have been in the box, otherwise that would have been too much space out left. So yeah, 7. I think he put in some great crosses. On another day, we score from the balls he was putting in there. So, yeah, 7. Linked up well with Saka. We linked up well with Ceballos. Actually really happy with Tierney. So, 7. Torreira. 5, man. What's going on with Lucas Torreira? What's happened to this little Uruguayan that we bought, who was a fucking top boy in the World Cup? Top boy at Sampdoria. And now he's coming for us, and he's a number 10, he's a number 8, he's all over the place. We don't know what he's doing, and he's not even scoring. Like, he scored in the Carabao Cup game, cool, but he should have scored in this game, man, and that's way more important. So, not good enough from Torreira, and yeah, just not good enough, man. Just not good enough. Yeah, what did I give him? A 5. Yep, has to be a 5. Guendouzi. Thought he had some bright spots throughout the game. Gave the ball away stupidly a few times. 6. If we had won, we'd give him a 7 because he was starting to change the momentum in the end, but too little too late, man. 6. Ceballos, thought he had a decent game, man. To be fair, thought he was linking up well with Ozil, well with Tierney. I would just like him to be a bit more of a goal threat or an assist threat. I think he's really good in just playing. Guendouzi had a really good game bringing the ball out from the back as well. I want to give him a 7, but I'm sorry, we draw at home. No one gets, Tierney got a 7 and Leno did, but their defenders is a little bit different. And Wolves were playing well, man. I think Tierney did actually do well. I think Guendouzi was okay, but yeah, he is 6. Ceballos is 6. Ozil, I know I've just said defenders are getting more, because Wolves actually attacked us a little bit if they played well. But Ozil was, for me, just by far our best player on the pitch in terms of attack and play. You could obviously argue Leno and Tierney defensively, but for me, in terms of attack and play, Ozil was everywhere, man. All over the place. Right, left, deep, advanced, runs, getting the ball back. Just all round amazing play from the guy, Ozil. 8. I want to, if we had 1, he'd be getting a 9. But we didn't, so 8. But this man, this is his first 90 minutes all season in any game. First time he's played 90 minutes, 11 games in or 12 games in, and he's putting out 8 out of 10 performances. So just let the guy play, please. Please let the guy play, or get the fuck out of my club. I'm really sick of Emery, man. I just feel like all of this, not all of this shit, but a lot of this, he's made a lot of things worse by this just weird decision making, lack of identity, and just flip flopping generally, man. Don't know what the fuck his identity is. Get him out. Yeah, Ozil 8. Lacazette 6, 7, 7. Lacazette 7. Really poor finishing. That's why I wanted to give him a 6. But his assist got us the goal. His hold-up play was really good. Generally speaking, I thought he made himself a nuisance. Just really shit finishing, which is not something you associate with Lacazette. He's usually quite clinical. Skying the ball over the bar, like, that's not Lacazette. He had I was going to say an off day, but he has been off since he's come back from his injury. We haven't seen him play well since he's come back from injury. Again, not worrying yet, but I don't know. Maybe you don't start him. Maybe you bring him off the bench until he scores, and then until his shooting gets better. I don't know. Or do you just play him through the form because his hold-up play is that good? If you do that, you need another goal threat on the pitch, and Martinelli and Pepe, I don't know. And then Aubameyang scored the goal. A few decent crosses, some bad touches. 7. Because he scored the goal and he's a striker and that's his job. But he had other chances. Actually, should have done better. So he doesn't do as well as Ozil for me. Yeah, I think that's fair. Let me know what you guys think. What would your ratings be? For the first time, we're going to do subs, but we're also going to do the manager this time. So substitutions. Martinelli, thought he was really good. Shame he couldn't score. 6. Because he's a sub and he came on in the 5 minutes, but I thought it was really good. Bukayo Saka, decent, bit weak on the ball, but decent. 6, 5, 5. Saka gets a 5. Kolasinac, he wasn't terrible, but he was only on for like 5 minutes, so 5 down the line. Yeah, and the manager. Now, despite Emery out, despite saying all of this, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to judge him based on this game. I'm not going to take into account all the past games because this is about this game. The context can be the score, and I will allow the context to be the score, but he gets a positive rating for me because he's finally fucking played Ozil. He started Ozil, he's let him play the 90 minutes, and we've been better going forward, markedly. He didn't make defensive substitutions. He actually took Torreira DM off for a winger in Saka. Don't know why he didn't play Pepe. That's my only real criticism of him today. And of course, and I don't know why he took. I mean, I guess Tierney was a fitness thing. I guess he started noticing maybe him getting a bit more tired. Maybe there's info from the sports science guys. Maybe Traore was getting the better of him. To me, Tierney was doing well at the end, but It's not that they scored after he came off, and Kolasinac did create a chance, so you know you can't really knock him too much for that one. 7. Unai Emery gets a 7. I want him out of the club. I'd like him out tomorrow, but for today he gets a 7, which means that if he does this kind of thing every week from now on, maybe he manages to turn it around and get us top 4. I've gone on record saying I don't think we get top 4 with Emery this season, but if we see more of this going forward and our defence somehow magically gets better... In fact, no, I'm wrong, sorry. Our defence doesn't have to get better. Our strikers need to finish those chances off, really and truly. I gave Aubameyang a 7. Maybe I should... I'll take it down to a 6, man, because our strikers weren't good enough today. They weren't good enough today. And Lacazette, what did I give him? I gave him a 6. I'll take him down to a 5. Our strikers weren't good enough today, man. They weren't good enough today. Their job is to score goals, and Aubameyang did that once, but I think we could have done it more. And yeah, I think ultimately, you can say defence lost us the game. I say clinical final balls lost us the game. But overall, we were actually much better going forward. Let me know what you guys think anyway. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What would your ratings be for the players? Do you think Ozil had a good game, as good a game as I did? Man of the match for me probably has to be Mesut Ozil, or possibly Leno for stopping us from losing. Take your pick. It's a draw at home, so against the lower tide, so there's no real man of the match in my opinion, but you know, it is what it is. With that, I'm going to be gone. Will I do other watch-alongs for the Chelsea game maybe? I don't know. But in terms of Arsenal, that's been French Gooner, and I'm out.